Hello everyone, I am back and today we are building a surf shack, which I had a lot of fun doing. I think I just really wanted to do something really colourful and somewhere warm. I think I'm just feeling some summery vibes. So I thought, let's build in Sulani because I feel like I haven't built here for ages and build a cute little surf shack. So that's what we did. And I knew when I started building this, I really wanted to have it up on a sort of cliffside, which obviously doesn't exist as a lot. So you'll see that I have built up this area using debug rocks and on sort of like, obviously, I make it one massive platform so that the surf shack itself is up on the top and sort of looks like it's on a cliff. Now, obviously, my cliff kind of pops out of nowhere. So we have to kind of imagine a little bit that in real life, this would all still be attached to a main piece of land, if you see what I mean. But obviously, in Sulani, I find a lot of the beach lots are just mainly beach. So obviously, you can't do training or anything like that. So we've just sort of created a... well, it's supposed to look quite natural. But yeah, we've created our own kind of landscape, as it were. And I also, because I knew I really wanted to have this quite luscious and quite green and sort of very nice exotic-ish sort of planting going on. So I actually, in my mind, kind of thought that maybe we should build this in the World from Jungle Adventures. But I also really wanted to be on the beach because I think that was a really, really cool idea to have this on the beach, sort of looking over the ocean up high. Because one thing I really wanted to do was add a swing, which we do, and that's super fun. So that when the Sims swing on it, they kind of like swing into the ocean a little bit. So I really wanted it to be on the beach. And yeah, so it's kind of almost, you'll see as I add more plants to the area, the kind of landscape of perhaps that world in Jungle Adventures rather than Sulani maybe. But yeah, I think it kind of fits because I really wanted it to be on the beach. So yeah, like I said, I use these debug rocks to build up and make it kind of a natural looking cliff. I keep saying that because I'm just like looking at it myself and thinking, right now it really doesn't look too natural because it's just literally a cliff that appears on the beach. But you'll see as I add more and more greenery that I'm trying to make it its own like little world, if you know what I mean. Like its own lot. Like just forget that it's coming off like a spit, right? Like there's just sand around it. But yeah, it's kind of fun. And to be honest, I hope you guys like landscaping because most of this build is me doing what I'm doing now. And the surf shack itself is really small. It's very small and there's very small inside space because it's one of these bars where I feel like you would come and you would spend most of the time outside still because you're at the beach, it'd be warm and you'd probably rather be outside. So you'd probably go up, get a drink and either hang out at the top looking over the sea or you would come down and sit at the beach. So it's super small and it's more of a sort of like outside bar, I want to say, rather than a sitting in place. But you can if you want. There's one table. But yeah, so you can sit in if you'd like. So I do spend a lot of the time scrolling and trying to find bits and pieces that I feel like would just make it look more luscious. Because I wanted as well because obviously what I've done is just make one massive room underneath where the surf shack is and then hidden the walls with the rocks and then obviously put the platform steps up. So, and I didn't want it to look like it was that. So there's some greenery obviously on the top and it's sort of like the rocks kind of spill out a little bit just to make it, not as obviously just like this is built upon a big room. This is actually just land. So yeah, I do spend a lot of time putting greenery absolutely everywhere. So I hope you enjoy watching me do that because we'll be doing it for a long, long time. And you'll see as well, I spin a lot. I'm really sorry. I'm always chopping from side to side. And I do chop and change the actual surf shack a few times. You'll see that I have settled at the moment on having these like beams on the outside. and I did start off with a wall there. But yeah, so I chop and change a little bit, but you'll see it come together. But like I say, to start with, it's mainly just the exterior. And this is one of those times where it's really, really strange. Like when I'm on the beach, I'm never too sure how to terrain when I put plants on the beach. And it's one of those times where you're actually, because normally we're in a world where there's grass. So when I put plants down, I'm putting soil terrain for the plants to be growing out of. But actually this is like the reverse. And I feel like I need to put grass down or like green underneath my plants. Because yeah, I just feel like it'd be luscious, and I mean there would be soil there, I suppose. I could put soil there, but I don't know, I think it kind of works putting greenery underneath the plants, because obviously there's the stark contrast. There's quite, having just like the yellow sand and then suddenly green is quite a contrast. And yeah, I was just trying to make it blend-ish as best I could. But yeah, so you'll see I've added in the like bars now. I thought it was super fun to have the two sort of where they are on that corner, so that you know, there'll obviously be a couple of seats that you can sit at the bar as well, and obviously some little benches and things on the sort of patio outside area. But yeah, I thought it was quite fun to have that overlooking the ocean, and not having the bar inside, if you know what I mean. So yeah, so it's all kind of like outside space basically. And I think, I'm trying to think if I made this like a hotspot, because I think this would be like a really, really cool bar, like in real life, just go and hang out at. Or even if you just went there for like some food, because I feel like they'd make food. I know that obviously I've made this a bar lot type rather than like a restaurant or whatever, but I mean, it could be, I suppose, or yeah, it could be like a restaurant. And I did contemplate putting a, you know, this sort of like vendor stalls down, and I do for a little while. There is a vendor stall out down on the beach, but I do change it because I figured no, they'd get the food from up here. I felt like it was a bit like, I don't know, a bit rude to have like somewhere on the beach where you could get food. Like I felt like it would take their customers. So yeah, I counted it that way and thought, you know what, if you want food, you have to go to the bar to get it. Because I know they can get like bits and pieces, can't they, from the bar, not just drinks. But yeah. So yeah, when I started building this area, I realised what would be really, really great is a swing up here. And I actually chose, I don't see to the corner where I've just put those lights and then there's like a palm tree. I figured this would be a really, really cool space to have a swing that swings out over the sea. So I make this kind of platform, which to be honest, at first I thought this might not work. Like the Sims might not actually get up on here and swing, but they do. I play tested it all, so yeah, they do and they love it. So yeah, I was really glad about that, because I did think when I built it, oh, they might not want to do this, but they do. And they swing really far. So yeah, I thought it was a fun little idea. I thought it'd be quite romantic as well, you know. But yeah, so I moved down to the little beach for a little while, because I think it was just like annoying me that there was like nothing down here. And I felt like there should be some bits and pieces, just obviously if, like I say, your Sims want to go up and get a drink and then come back down to the beach. So I just put some little loungers, and this boat stays for a while, but I do end up removing it. I don't know, it kind of, I felt like it was a bit much to have that big boat there, but I guess, I mean, you could like travel by boat here, not walk here, so you could pull up there. But yeah, I felt like it was taking away a little bit from the vibe. And like I said previously, I do put that little vendor stall down for a little while, but I do actually end up changing it to toilets, because this surf shack only has one tiny little toilet. It's in that sort of like bump out, if you see on the main surf shack, in the sort of like white paneling. And yeah, I figured there should maybe be a few more toilets and maybe some down by the beach, so I do change that to toilets, and the sort of like one that comes with the pack, if you know what I mean, the kind of where they just like, they're like ready-made toilets where they can just like walk in and they disappear and go to the toilet and then come back out. So yeah, I thought that was a better use of space. But we are finally on the inside here, and like I said, it is super, super small. In my mind, you'd use the space outside rather than inside mainly. But I do make a sort of little sitting area, a table, if you did want to sit inside, and there's like a sort of funky bench in the end when I finally settle on one. And I think I put like I can't remember what it's called. I think it's from the Strangerville pack, and it's that kind of music player. The one that's like really, really big and you always have to size it down. I thought that was quite fun. And yeah, it's just supposed to be quite fun and bright and lots of contrasting colours. Just somewhere, I don't know, somewhere that I feel like you'd go, I don't know, to make you feel like warm inside and happy and warm and jolly. You know, and probably like run by like a local family and it's been here for years, you know, and perhaps it hasn't been updated that much. You know, everything's a little bit, you can see like the wood panelling. Because it's just like it's one of those places that everyone goes. Maybe, you know, like when people go on holiday, it's the place they always go and it's always recommended. And yeah, I don't know, it's just somewhere, it's just got a really, really nice vibe, you know. And yeah, like I was saying, I do think I made it a hotspot so that hopefully loads and loads of Sims come. So I do enjoy it when there's lots of Sims at a community lot. It's always fun. And because I did feel like they probably would make food here, I do put a sort of like little kitchen area here, which I have playtested it all. I chop and change a little bit what's there because I do end up putting a sink and things, but I wanted to make sure there was a counter space free, so if you did want to cook anything you could. And believe it or not, there was, I mean, the counter space in the corner does actually function, even though there's like multiple plates and mugs on it. Yeah, it does work. So I just think it's really random. Really random, like when a kitchen counter works and when it doesn't. You know what I mean? But anyway, so yeah. And I really liked this, really enjoyed putting the fridge in this like bar decoration unit. But I did actually end up having to size down the like bar like back decoration unit because yeah, it didn't work with the fridge in it. Well, the fridge didn't work being inside of it, which was, I don't know, it surprised me. But I ended up like sizing it down and putting it next to the fridge instead. But it still has that same kind of effect. So that's fine. And you'll notice as well, I did actually take out like the ceilings in the surf shack itself and the toilet because I like the idea of the roof being not flat. So like vaulted ceilings. I feel like that's kind of what it would be like on the inside. So yeah, I definitely want to do that. So I know you can't really see it, like, so you can't see it right now. And I mean, there's only a few times really that you end up looking up at the ceiling, but hey, it's there. That's how they are. So it made me feel better because I like knowing that that's what they were like on the inside. But yeah, I don't really notice. So yeah, we're finally putting some little benches outside as well for people to sit at, like I say. Sit, have a drink, a bit of food, and just look out over the sea. Really, really nice. Really, really enjoyed this. And it's really nice to just build somewhere quite different. I haven't built in Sulani, like I say, for a really long time. So just, yeah, nice and warm. But yes, so I will leave you with some screenshots and see you in the next one.